Buenas Micronesia, Holiday. I'm John Rosario.
And I'm Troy Torres.
Welcome to Candid News. It is September 15, Sunday.
Happy birthday, Tammy. That's my sister.
Oh, happy birthday, Tammy.
She's nearly half a century old.
Cool.
She's going to kill me for that.
We're almost there, Cello.
No,
we're not far
no,
behind.
we're not. Almost there.
Please don't forget to like, share, and follow Candid News. We are also on YouTube and Instagram, but not the videos.
We're live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook right now. For however you're watching this right now, thank you very much. Thank you for sharing this to your friends on your timelines, and for also sharing Candid News Group's Facebook page so that we can get more follows. We're at 92%.
Yes, we are.
92% of monetization. So thank you very much, everybody, for all of your help. Thanks for the week off, boss. I appreciate it.
No comment. No comment. But I want to thank everybody who helped us make Chai Fee's fundraiser last night a success.
Yes, thank you, everyone. It was beautiful. It really was. And it was nice to see everybody
Get
having
together.
a good time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, you know what? Without further ado, let's get to our first segment of the night, the good stuff. We're moving on up, huh?
Looking it up.
They told me it's called a bumper. It's called and I don't know if you've noticed, but we're also doing a better job at looking at the camera and not at ourselves in the monitor that's next to the camera. I'm kind of avoiding the whole me
I think we
thing.
have to put because I keep looking over there.
The first thing that we're going to talk about is the weather. So the National Weather, I'm sorry, not the National Weather Service, the Office of Homeland Security, Office of Civil Defense, the people over near Government House where they had the fireworks and stuff, they sent out a bunch of news releases today and actually for the past few days regarding the weather situation, and it's life-threatening, number one, because of the rip currents. Let me just actually get some of this information out from Homeland Security, Civil Defense, which has been providing the information from National Weather Service. So, in a release today, 7 hours ago at 3 p.m., according to Civil Defense, the National Weather Service Guam Weather Forecast Office maintains the flash flood warning in effect for Guam until 6 p.m. this evening. Flooding is imminent or occurring. The community is advised to take the following precautionary actions. They should have just said precautions. Be alert for landslides and mudslides. Refrain from outdoor recreational activities. A small craft advisory remains in effect. Avoid boating, surfing, and other water-related activities until conditions subside. Do not hike or camp until dangerous conditions subside. Practice extreme caution on the following roadways where flooding continues or safe travel might be reduced to one lane. And we have some videos from around the island, thanks to Facebook and thanks to some of our sources of information who've been providing these videos. Polaris Point Route 1, Hamburger Road, Harmon, San Victorious Road, Suman, Barragata Route 16. Look, did you see that inundation of rain? It's crazy. R. Camacho Way, Barragata, near Uggan Store, Barragata, Lejang, Barragata, Ta'i Road, Manilao, 5th and 8th Street, O'Brien Drive, Hagutnia. I had no idea there was a 5th and 8th Street. Totu, Kanyada Loop Road, Barragata. And the following areas are deemed impassable. As if 7 hours ago, motorists are advised to seek alternate routes. Bradley Place, Anigua, and Route 10 by Wendy's, Barragata. That's a rat that you see coming out from the manhole. The poor thing is trying to survive. Look at...
All rats do.
Rats on a raft. Rats on a raft.
They try to survive.
Aww, look at that. Anyway, no, we have other videos, right, Chalu? From around the island. There was even people in. Oh my God.
I think that's my cousin's kid.
Oh my God! You need to tell your cousin about and the kids what's in that water.
Oh, well, they'll be sick all week.
Holy my! Oh my! Oh, my leptospirosis.
But imagine when we were children. That
Oh, no, no, no. Oh, actually, no, we did wade. I did wade through the water.
yeah, so did I.
I drank from the hose, too.
It made us strong today. And,
Strong immunity.
oh man, that would have been a good one. That's in Tumon.
That's here, just right down the road from us.
Guys, everybody tilt your head to the side.
What in the hell is that?
That's over at Home Depot. Right there's Hotel
Jeez.
Mayana.
You can go wide water rafting.
What kind of...
Gosh.
Yeah, I got in the car. I left the house today just to come here, and I couldn't handle it. I couldn't breathe the whole ride down. I felt like my car was hydroplaning the whole time.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
But look at that. That is the cemetery. That is PD Cemetery,
How long
guys.
ago was this? Oh my gosh, that's so creepy. My grandma and grandpa are there.
Even my Rosario family's all there.
Now, just to be clear, your car wasn't hydroplaning. It was just flying as fast as a plane. On water. For speed racer reasons.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Yes. And here I was all day making sure everybody got here early on time because of the show. And I come waltzing my butt in at 7:30. Maybe 8 o'clock.
Maybe 8 o'clock. I think it was 7:30, Chelo. I think, but she brought donuts from Crown Bakery. So to me, that's like mea culpa right there. There were earlier releases from Civil Defense on this whole issue, flash flood warning. This is 8 hours ago. Now in effect, move to higher ground if necessary. Sorry, I'm just reading. They wrote it like poetry. One of the advisories says, "Turn around, don't drown." There are strong rip currents or rip current advisories in effect until Tuesday evening. That's the last from Civil Defense. That rip current advisory has moved from Sunday to Monday and now to Tuesday evening. What rip currents? They're very dangerous things. You don't see them because they're currents that flow under the water surface. Mm-hmm. And
there was a lady that they pulled from the water.
Was that from a rip current?
Yes.
So that was at Gun Beach, right? Mm-hmm. And I go in the beach near this area.
And you would never think, when you go over to those beaches, you would never think you could drown because the water...
It's slow.
Yeah.
But what happens is it'll even if it's
suck you from under.
knee deep, you'll fall and then it'll take you out into the reef.
And especially if you don't really know how to swim, you end up panicking and then you lose your breath and yeah.
And then before you know it, there's a celebration by the Calvos that I'm dead. So as all of this weather stuff is going on, this is the time when we see just how bad the roads are, right? We see how the roads are not constructed correctly because all the water gathers up in these areas. Your car goes hydroplaning. You cannot see where any of the dips are. So you just screw up your tires and everything like that. And so this brings us to a discussion about what the Department of Public Works pardon me, is doing about the road situation. Well, in a September 11 letter from Vince Areola, the director of the Department of Public Works, to the Speaker of the Legislature, providing the monthly status report for village streets and road resurfacing repairs for the month of July 2019. They do provide a spreadsheet. I don't know if are you able to cast to my screen, Chelo? So I don't know if you're able to see what's in the spreadsheet. Let me make these things bigger.
Okay, read that. Just
So during the month of July, here's the schedule. Here's what's been completed, what's still under construction. Route 30 or Fahrenheit Avenue. I had no idea that was called Route 30 or that there was a Route 30. Installation of second line on sidewalk to be scheduled. Well, okay, I guess they're painting a line, and it's going to cost $227,000. South Paulino Heights in Talafofo was completed. Savannah Drive in Talafofo was completed, the paving. Savannah Extension in Talafofo, paving completed. And North Paulino and Talafofo, paving completed as well. The list of roads to be resurfaced include in the northern region, Swamp Road, Chalan Lumasu, corner of Buradan Pulatat. Oh, that's the spirit animal of Senator Kelly March Tyson, the Pulatat, right?
Palatat, yeah.
Tun Ignacio Chana in Jigo and David Flores Court in Jigo. So those roads are all due for road resurfacing under round 3 of this island-wide village street or island-wide resurfacing program. In the central region, there's a lot. And in case any of you are wondering whether this is all politics or whatever, it likely is, but don't blame the Leon Guerrero administration. The decisions for the surfacing of these roads came from the Calvo administration, just so you know.
But just so you know, the federal government gives them money for this. You know that, right?
For the
Resurfacing and stuff.
yes, for the routed roads and I believe the secondary roads. But if they're village streets like tertiary, village streets, I don't think the federal government does give them. But I don't know if any of these are village streets. Actually, they might all be secondary.
Well, yeah. So that's enough money to take care of our roads. So I don't see why our government can't come up with the money for the other roads, for the small roads.
Well, and Shella, I think you have a story regarding what the mayors use money for and what they want to use money for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very interesting to say the least. It actually just pisses us off. So in the central region, Panetnos Drive in Agana Heights will be resurfaced. The list I'm going to read you is what is going to be resurfaced. Chargaloff Court in Agana Heights, Binackley Road in Aston Martin. I would hate to live on a road called Binackley Road. North
Sounds
Savannah
spooky,
Drive.
right?
Yeah, like
Banacli.
like Fafa, Binackley. Like North Savannah Drive in Barragata, Gajuman Street in Barragata. Where's that? Chalampingpagu in Chalampagu. I love that. Judge Sablan Street in Chalampagu. Kichichu Street in Manila, Sergio Cruz Road, Manila, Matabusan Street in MTM, North Old GW Road. You need to rename that road, North Old GW. How very creative of you, Mayor of MTM. Lucio Road in Sinahanya, Tan Vakina Borja Street in Sinahanya, Harmon Industrial Park East. Oh, wow.
Thank God.
Wow. And Harmon Industrial Park West. In the south, well, I guess the north got everything. The central area, I mean, the north, the biggest one in the north, it would be Swamp Road. That's sorely needed. There were 4, and then there's 4 in the south, and I don't know, it looks like there's 12 to 14 in the central region. Well, in the south, Dueña Street in Agate, Tun Jose El San Nicolas Street in Inarajan, Jose P. Cruz Street in Talafofo, and Chalan Ugin in Jotnia. A total of 38,700 linear feet. How many miles is that? 19 miles? 19 miles of road?
I wouldn't know.
Right? 2,000 linear feet is a mile, right? Something like that? I don't... Why is there radio silence?
Because, Jello, you would know.
It's not my strongest
Right anyway. Josh, how many feet are in a mile?
He wouldn't know that. He just puts gas
2.
and goes.
For Josh, it's 2 minutes or 2 seconds makes a mile. Anyway, the next thing, Chelu, I think you're the one who has it, is the upcoming roundtable regarding the Medical Malpractice Mandatory Arbitration Act.
That is actually in my messages from Mr. Lebowski. Let me just get that.
Well, while you're doing that, let's talk about tax refunds then. So, a couple nights ago, Johnny brought you the story about how the Leon Guerrero administration is sitting on $69 million in cash. How it released $1.3 million in cash Friday, or quite possibly they haven't even released yet. The checks might not even have gone out yet. For tax refunds filed up to February 21 of this year. And the story that Johnny brought you explained a lot about how the government's finances work when it comes to tax refunds. And our best estimate on the government's ability to pay refunds using that $69 million and judging from or taking from the reports that the government already submitted up to August of 2019 for the payment of tax refunds and for those processed and all that stuff. I think you surmised when you did the math on it that you have to take out 20 million of that 69 for debt service on some bonds, right?
Right.
Which left $49 million, and how they already had to back out, I believe it's 16 or 17 million dollars in tax refunds for the prior years.
From way before.
Yeah, because that
Yeah.
goes to the head of the line. And
Right.
and if you're wondering why there are prior years refunds that are coming up, if there's a 6-month period now, it's because these are people who only recently filed for those refunds, and they're owed it. You know, they finally made a claim. The government was supposed to have estimated all of that stuff as it budgeted for it every single year, and should have had that stored away. But as your story explains to everyone, this is part of the problem, is that the government doesn't store it away. But the good stuff about this is that I don't think it's going to take much more time for the Leon Guerrero administration to actually release that $49 million, if in fact all of it is going to go to tax refunds. The only problem is that 16 to 17 already is earmarked for all of those prior year refunds. They have to be paid first. And then the rest of it, the balance of that, we don't know how
But
if
that
it's
we
gonna
don't
take
know,
place.
and neither do they, and that is why they're not saying up to what date will it be paid out
Do
to.
you think they haven't even calculated it yet?
I don't even think they're gonna give an exact date, Troy. Maybe
just-
after tonight's live, they're gonna go just to prove us wrong.
Maybe.
But just I don't even think they have the exact date.
Well, what we do know is that October 15 is around the corner. And by October 15, they have to pay all the tax refunds that are status A filed through April 15. And then when October 16 comes, they have to be up to date to April 16, and so on and
Right.
so on. So we don't know if it's going to be a challenge. We don't know what the Leon Guerrero administration is doing with cash, because they're not being forthcoming about cash. What we do know is that when millions of dollars are released, people are going to have lots of money to, put a down payment on a car, pay your whatever you're late with your rent, or your credit cards, maybe save up for Christmas. So, in that sense,
Yeah.
good on the taxpayers for paying those taxes that allowed this Section 30 money to come so it can pay you all back.
I sent it to your email, the medical malpractice.
Well, tell us about it.
Senator Therese Herlahi is holding a roundtable for Guam's Medical Malpractice Mandatory Arbitration Act in the Guam Legislature Public Hearing Room at the Guam Congress Building in Agana. It
Is that this Thursday?
this Thursday, September 19 at 2 p.m., and it's an overview of current law and prior case outcomes, patient testimony. So this is important for the people who've been wronged
Oh, okay.
to come out and speak. And since it's at 2 o'clock, Kandit would be there.
I wonder why they made it at 2 o'clock, though. It's not, people get off work at 5 p.m. Maybe it was the only available time or something. I don't know.
Because they're the legislature. They work between 8 and 5, except for a budget hearing. Right? 8 and 5 is their work day?
That's why they stick in all the funerals between 8 and 5?
Yeah.
Because the Organic Act says that they must attend every funeral.
Does it?
No.
Oh, you fucker. So that's going to be the first meeting, and then the second meeting will be Thursday, October 3rd at 2 p.m.
Okay.
And it's I guess this is for the healthcare professionals. Input from health professionals on effective or current law on standard of care. All health professionals and patients are invited to provide written testimony or attend hearing.
Okay. What about for the public at large?
I believe that is
The third one?
It says the third one is Thursday, November 7 at 2 p.m. Options review. Recommendations for improvement.
Time subject to change. So,
Patient testimony for this Thursday,
Yeah.
which would be the people that were wronged. But it's an overview of the current law and prior case outcomes.
I'm wondering if the third one, or if it's limited, then like the other people who are not patients.
Maybe
Or-
it's the next one.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, maybe we'll ask Senator Teresa Lahi's office more about that. But she and Senator Telo Taidegui are the only people in the legislature who have moved on this. Mm-hmm. Right?
Correct.
I believe we got some lip service from Speaker Tina Mooney Barnes, but really the person who's been driving this has been Senator Sirlahi. And then Senator Telo Taidegui told us that she's looking over 3 different options for legislation that she wants to introduce. And she's just been waiting for Senator Sirlahi to have this roundtable discussion. So here it is. There's a roundtable discussion that's going to happen.
And that's this Thursday.
Right on. I wonder if Mr. Lebowski is going to be most likely, right? Do you
Of
know?
course.
Have you talked to him?
He's watching now.
Is he on island?
Yes, he is. He's here for this.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to cover this.
Yes, we are.
Absolutely going to cover this. And then the next thing is related to this issue of medical malpractice arbitration. Is something that is a story that does not rely on the local law, but rather on federal law, and how a couple in the military is getting some justice for some malpractice that was done to them.
Right. It's from the Stars and Stripes.
Okay.
U.S. to pay Navy couple $11.5 million in Guam hospital malpractice case.
Wow.
And this was published by the Associated Press on September 14, 2019. Norfolk, Virginia. The federal government has agreed to pay $11.5 million to settle a medical negligence lawsuit by a Virginia couple involving the birth of their son 5 years ago at a military hospital in Guam. A federal judge on Friday approved the monetary settlement to help the parents care for their child, who suffers severe and permanent brain damage.
God bless you.
The Virginia pilot of Norfolk reports Deidre and Daniel Babeau. Is that how you say their name? Babeau Sr.
Oh, I don't know.
Navy petty officers living in Virginia Beach sued for malpractice after their son was born in 2014 at the U.S. Naval Hospital in Guam. They were stationed there at the time. A spokesman for the U.S. Attorney for Eastern Virginia, who defended the government, declined comment. Court documents show defense attorneys stressed there was no admission of wrongdoing.
Except for $11.5 million.
And that's
Good for that family.
Yes.
I mean, not good that happened to their child, but
Someone was held accountable.
Yeah. And the only reason that cannot happen on Guam is because of the Medical Malpractice Mandatory Arbitration Act. When we come back, we're going to inaugurate Pioneer Start for the very first time.
Teleprompter.
Our next yes, with the teleprompter, yes.
Sorry, guys.
Our new segment called Guput Kabiat News, since all the government seems to be this day is one big happy party with fireworks despite Rome burning. When we get back from this commercial break.
I find no issue with it because, I just got back from the state auditors conference and my jaw dropped because the average salary right now that all state auditors are paying is $50,000. I asked this question, I said, what? Straight out of college, no experience, $50,000. Most of their management team are upwards of $100,000. And
But once that $50,000 salary is
I
straight
have
out,
no qualms
wait,
with
let's-
paying that. I think it's worth it.
the additional bonus on top of the increase that you're now getting because you managed to get through the legislature are concurrence that we're going to adopt the Kerry study.
And for the office with the 10 employees that you have or whatever number you have, you need 60,000 for the certification or pay, or is that's in the event somebody else gets
that's already funded. That's already funded. That's already in our, that's, if you turn to the schedule, we're talking 60,264 is the certification pay for 1, 2, 3, 6 individuals.
Okay. I have nothing further. We stand in recess until...
Mr. Speaker, if I just may say, you and I both are very passionate. And I'll miss this exchange. Thank you.
I will need an additional $70,000 just to pay for the certification pay for those on my staff that are qualified. It wasn't in my budget request because I didn't ask for it. But if this legislature is going to leave it in the budget, then I will have to comply and provide them with their certification adjustment, and that would cost the office an additional $70,000. So I just point that out. But I can't tell you how wonderful the 5 Auditor 3s that stepped up to take over the management team of the office has been, and how smoothly it has run since then. They've taken over, and I feel so bad that they can't get one. We can't reclassify 3 of them, 4 of them. I mean, because everything, all promotions and increments were suspended during the fiscal year. So I can't do any reclassifications and give them increments as minuscule as it is by comparison. But it is the Office of Public Accountability, and we have to live within the law, and we will live within the law. And if it is provided to us, we'll provide it to them. If it's not, then we'll have to tell them that it's not going to be provided.
Before we get to Guput Gubyetnu, we have some breaking news from the Department of Education about classes at Agata Johnson Middle School and Ordot Chalampago Elementary School, both in Ordot. Classes will be canceled at Agata Johnson Middle School and Ordot Chalampago Elementary School tomorrow, Monday, September 16, 2019. Oh, that is a big image of me.
I love that camera and the lights.
Classes are expected to resume as regularly scheduled at all other Department of Education schools. So again, tomorrow there's no classes if you're a student at Agata Johnson or Chalampago. The school closures will provide an opportunity for school administrators to disseminate information about the recent insecticide spraying protocols and other pertinent information to faculty, staff, and students. Okay. According to the superintendent, he says, we want to provide ample time for our school administrators to complete the work to be done at our campuses and also provide all relevant information to faculty, students, and families. We hope our stakeholders will understand as we work to provide information in a thorough manner and allay any concerns.
What is that for? I thought it's for the flooding.
I'll bet you something broke at these schools.
And they're lying?
Then they're just, yeah, because something like that, you would give some kind
Like
of
a week
notice.
notice.
Yeah, yeah. This is
Fishy.
bizarre. This is bizarre. Not as bizarre as our trash talk segment is going to be.
That's not bizarre.
Well, it's trashy versus classy.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yes.
We pick apart our congressman.
Yes.
So there's, again, Agata Johnson and Ordot Chalampago Elementary, no classes tomorrow, Monday, September 16.
Okay.
So, yeah. All right. Now, off to our new segment, Guput Gobyerno.
Speaker Tina Munoz Barnes and the top military man on the island are trying to make the military buildup more transparent. In an August 16 letter to Joint Region Commander Rear Admiral J.V. Manoni, Ms. Barnes offered Mr. Manoni to post a public military documents on the Guam legislature's website. The legislative website has become a repository of major government of Guam documents communicated to and from senators. Mr. Manoni agrees with the aim of the offer and has instructed his public affairs officer to cooperate with Ms. Barnes' office. He said, quote, I appreciate your sincere interest in facilitating our mutual desire for transparency and information sharing with the people of Guam. Your offer to include the legislature's website is welcomed, end quote. Mrs. Barnes also asked the Admiral for a tour of the live firing training range complex being built to accommodate the military buildup. Mr. Manoni has agreed to the tour and has placed Captain Hans Scholey in charge of making this happen. In other legislative news, Senator Clint Rogel starts the legislative week tomorrow at 9 a.m. with the public hearing to accept testimony on Bill number 62, authored by Senator Will Castro. The Castro legislation will codify the creation of the Office of Homeland Security, which currently exists under authority of an executive order issued by former Governor Felix Camacho. The bill passed will modernize the island's emergency management agencies, bringing Guam's laws up to date with dangers to the civil defense of the island. On Thursday, Senator Therese Terlahi will hold a public hearing at the Guam Congress building at 1 p.m. on Bill number 187, which will adopt the rules and regulations governing the adoption of codes of professional conduct and ethics by the Guam Board of Allied Health Examiners. Last Tuesday, Senator Josan Augustine introduced Bill number 204 that, if passed into law, will further erode government revenues by authorizing tax credits to businesses that support the Guam Basketball Confederation to the FIBA Asia Cup. The measure is a special interest bill that grants credits against the payment of business privilege taxes. So, while the rest of us have to deal with the legislature's refusal to roll back the tax increase, special interest business will get to skate on its payment. Lastly, Senator Luis Muñoz introduced two bills Tuesday of major note. Bill number 205 if passed, will place price ceilings on the cost of anti-cancer treatments for those who have health insurance coverage on Guam. Bill number 206 will make child pornography illegal.
So let's talk about this story,
Yes.
which was a whole crap load of research that she did on what our government is up to. Some of what the legislature will be up to this week. Well, actually, this was mainly about the legislature, right?
Yes, all of that was.
We'll start with Speaker Tina Barnes trying to make the legislature a little more transparent with regards to
No, the
military
legislature
buildup.
is trying to make the government, the
The
federal
military.
government, the military more transparent without being transparent.
Oh, let's hear it.
None of the shit they're doing is transparent.
You mean
They-
the legislature?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their meetings, they're all of that with, corporate agencies and people in the,
Yeah.
to line their pockets. And this is my personal opinion, okay?
No, that's a fact, actually.
Okay? Okay, well, that's a fact. And then here you have it, this is a good thing she's doing,
Yeah.
right? But, hold on just a second. No, Temmie, the next one's still mine. Sorry, guys.
I told you we had teleprompters.
And then she's trying to get the military buildup to be more transparent.
Okay,
right?
that's
because
a good thing.
That's the reason why I believe she's doing this is because of the people that the Guam, what is it called? The Chamorro people that are against the buildup.
Oh, like the decolonization people.
Yes. They want that more transparent to let us know what is really going on over there.
Oh, I see the angle. Okay.
Okay? But that's just my
I didn't even think
personal
about
opinion.
that. Oh, you're probably right. This is probably something that was requested by
Mm-hmm.
activist groups, which is good all around.
Yes.
It really is good whether you're for or against the military buildup to have more information about what's going on. But I believe it's not just the military buildup, it's the military documents,
But
right?
wait a minute. I thought that the SHPO is supposed to be doing, I thought this is it all in the hands of the SHPO. Don't we have those already?
But it's not posted on the legislature's website, whatever that is.
Why wouldn't it be posted on the SHPO's website or whatever website they have?
The legislature, their website is only documents to and from senators. So what the military will be doing is actually providing more than documents to and from senators. It would be all their publicly available military documents. So like a letter from the admiral to that Captain Hans Scholey about military buildup work on Route 3 or whatever. Even though the legislature is not included in the letter, now the letter will be available on the legislature's website. Maybe they'll have its own folder or something.
But wait a minute, it still doesn't make sense. You're doubling the work. Doesn't all of those go through the SHPO?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay, never mind. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, well, I would imagine anything having to do with construction would go through the SHPO.
Okay.
But I think this is asking for more because I don't think when I was looking at the speaker's letter, it didn't limit the type of document. It just said publicly available military documents, not just the military buildup.
Okay.
So hopefully we get to see more of what goes on at Naval Station, Anderson Air Force Base, and all that stuff, especially if it deals with like commissary privileges to newscasters or media people. Commissary privilege.
Well, I just want to let everybody know I'm also on the fence. I don't know if I'm for the buildup. I don't know if I'm for decolonization. I don't know yet. So the more I learn about it, I guess I'll have an answer.
Well, Congressman Robert Underwood and Congressman Mike Nicholas are teaching us a thing or two about this subject. But okay, again,
They're also Robert Underwood's also teaching me how to be a mean girl.
we will get to that in trash talk.
Yes.
Now, what about this child pornography?
Let's not talk about that because that just pisses me off. It's already a federal law.
So, what is I don't understand. What's the reason for making it localized? Is it so that there can be local charge? Because
Wait, no, wait a minute.
they screw it up locally.
Oh, fuck yeah. Wait a minute. Guam, we fall under, right? If whatever federal laws, Guam automatically,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We're one jurisdiction or whatever, right?
Yeah.
There's local jurisdiction, then there's federal. But we automatically fall under that. So I'm not sure what she's doing. If she's even doing anything, maybe she just wants to sound relevant.
Maybe that's it.
But let me just break it to you, Senator Luis Muñoz. It's a law already. Child pornography it's illegal.
I was kind of flipping out. I was like, you mean this is not illegal? Like, how can it not be illegal? But you're right, it's federally illegal, and the federal government has been cracking down on that. There are cases in district court against actually several people locally.
Let me just find the law. Let me just find the law for you, okay, Senator? So you can just stop right there and work on something else.
Can you pass the yellow thing? Yeah, your hair, Senator. If you're gonna work on something, it needs to be the wave from 1987 has gotta go, yo.
Or I can help you out with your hair. I can help you out with your hair.
Did you hear what he said?
I did. Child pornography law.
Hey, careful how you go. Okay, it's like good thing you put law.
Here you go. There's a whole book on it.
United States Department of Justice.
Yes. Is that chapter 18 or title 18?
Title 18, yeah.
USC subsection 2251. Sexual exploitation of children. I can even email this to her if she would like. It's a law.
There's a sexual exploitation of children statute in local law.
Selling and buying children, certain activities relating to material involving the sexual exploitation of minors. This is a law already.
No.
So let's not give it any more time. Thanks,
All right.
Senator, for your efforts.
Well, how about our next story?
Next story is the Mayor's Council has gone to the dogs. In the latest meeting, the mayor councils of Guam, some of the island's 19 mayors suggested handing out hunting licenses to kill stray dogs. As of 5 p.m. tonight, more than 2,500 residents signed a petition telling the mayors to stick their suggestion where the sun don't shine. Many questions arise about this idea from village leaders. After all, these are the same set of mayors whose handling of the liberation festivities now is the subject of an audit. Their infidelity to the procurement laws of the island leave much to be desired of our mayors. So far as this trigger-happy idea from mayors is concerned, some very big details are missing. First, who gets to license the shooters and who gets licenses? Guam's gun laws don't currently provide for this type of licensure. Perhaps rules and regulations would be adopted through the Administrative Adjudication Act process. The problem is that mayors have never ever used this process to adopt rules properly. The last time they put regulations together was the Carnival Casino gambling. They avoided the AAA process altogether, sending their regulations directly to the legislature for approval. Second, how will they compensate these so-called hunters for services? The mayors can't even afford to install speed bumps in their villages or even the cost of helping to round up stray dogs. What more, the compensation of hunters to go into the jungles to supposedly find stray animals. Third, exactly how will we define what a stray animal is? What are the boundaries that will be established? And if we're paying hundreds or even thousands of people to do this, how will we regulate these hunters are not going into people's yards and homes to kill pets just to get paid? But perhaps the biggest question next to what the hell are the mayors thinking is exactly how will the mayors do this without breaking the law? Subsection 3116B under Chapter 3 of Division 1 of the island's laws on animals says, quote, "It shall be unlawful for any person to kill a pet now owned by him except as otherwise provided in any applicable laws or rules or in the following circumstances. 1. The pet is found in the act of killing, wounding, or persistently pursuing another person. Livestock or poultry on land or premises not owned or possessed by the pet owner. Or 2, the person has such proof of conclusively shows that the pet has recently engaged in killing or wounding another person or his livestock or poultry while on land or premises owned by the person. Unless the Guam legislature shaves off half of its collective brain in order to be as dumb as the mayors and actually change the law to allow them to implement this stupid plan, this idea is as dead as the brain cells stinking up the mayor's council of Guam.
Oh, Chelu. Word. Word to your mayor.
Hey, buy a brain, Chelo. I would like to buy a vowel. Huh?
They don't even know what a vowel is, Chelu.
You know, I was never really a dog. And you know this. I'm not a dog lover. I'm not a cat lover. I grew up, my mom always said, those animals are for outside. We were never allowed to have any pets. But I am learning this past year with you in your home, being around you, I am learning. I still get mad about the smell. I don't like dog smell. I gag at poop on the floor, but I'm learning. Those things can be cleaned up.
Well, I think one thing we learned from this story is that it is already legal to kill an animal that is attacking you,
right,
or your children, or you can even, if it can, not even if it can be proven, but if you can conclusively say, I think that's what the law says, that this animal is the one that came to your house and like was screwing up with your chickens or whatever, you can go find the animal, as long as it's a stray animal, and kill it. That's what this. So the law already provides for that. Otherwise, it's illegal. So how are the mayors going to implement a program? They want to implement this program. How are they going to do it without changing the law? Unless some harebrained fucking senator is going to do it. And unfortunately, we have a few of those.
Yeah, maybe in Luis Munoz.
The wave harebrain. Oh, yeah. Brain waves with her hair. So
Let's just hope Miss Barnes, the speaker, doesn't pick up on this.
I think she has a dog. If I'm not mistaken, I believe she talked to me about her dog. And I think, is it a Shih Tzu or... I can't remember. I think she has a dog. And I know several senators have dogs, and they're animal lovers, and I think a couple of them have cats. Right?
I don't know. I don't know any of them personally.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't stalk people.
Again, you want to hang around for trash talk where we're... So, thank you for doing this story, because I'm really pissed about it, and a lot of people are.
I know you are.
A lot of people are really pissed about this.
And if there was a petition, there is a petition.
Yeah.
If 2,500 people sign that petition within less than 48 hours, then there is a big problem.
This is not the first time that this idea has been brought up, though.
Who brought it up at the hearing?
I think it was Sinahania Mayor Robert Hoffman. And then there was a prior proposal a few years ago by another mayor, and the mayors there was public outcry and they dropped it. But I guess they're tired of dealing with the stray animal problem, so they've brought it up again. But here's the thing: Guam Animals in Need did something extraordinary, and they brought, not PETA, what's the name of that other animal organization? Gosh, I can't remember the name. It's one of those international or national animal organizations.
Let's write to Ellen.
They came to, I love her. They came to Guam, and they offered a solution, which made a lot of sense. They said, why don't you guys have a roundup program, right? So you know, maybe this is something you could invest in. Invest in an island-wide roundup program where you round up the strays, and there are rules that you develop rules and regulations on how to do that and how to regulate and all that stuff, right? And then you can either spay and neuter both the males and females, or females and males, and then put them back into the jungle so that within 3 to 5 years, there's no more stray issue. Basically the weather gets to them or disease or whatever.
Right.
And They can no longer reproduce. And okay, mayors, we're gonna have to dial this back just a little bit for you. So how animals are created is the male dog
Has to put it
pumps
in
the female dog.
Yeah, he has to put it in the female dog.
Yeah.
In order to have the babies.
And if they have all of their parts still,
Yeah, they have to put the thing in the thing.
and then 9 weeks later, poof, puppies.
Yeah, but if they put the thing in the thing and they are spayed or neutered, whatever.
If one of the parts was missing,
Yeah.
no more puppies.
Yeah.
And then like eventually those dogs die out
Mm-hmm.
and there's no more stray animal problem.
Yeah, that's how that works, guys.
So rather than spending, if the stray animal problem is such a problem for the mayors that they just cannot stand it anymore, you know, if that's such a problem for the mayors, then why don't you invest money in a smart solution like that rather than spending money on dumb
Being
things like
inhumane.
fireworks or strawberry festivals or not putting up speed bumps where parents ask you to put up speed bumps.
Yes.
You know, mayors, you guys are just fucking ridiculous. Just the stupidest things come out of your mouths. Honest to God.
I think they need filters. Like they need to talk to themselves in the mirror and be like, okay, does this sound dumb? And then the mirror will say, bing, 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 that is dumb. that is a dumb suggestion.
Dumb,
Mayor Hoffman.
Dumb.
Mayor
dumb.
Hoffman, that is the dumbest suggestion that you are the winner of the year.
Cello, do I just look into this camera now and
Yes.
start?
Oh, you need to pan it.
Is that how it works?
Pan it to Troy.
Oh.
There you go.
See, we have teleprompters. And this is our first time in months using these.
Go for it.
Are we good with that?
Yes.
Okay. If there is anything we should be able to rely on about our government, it is that the public's health is in good hands. After all, we elected a nurse to be our governor. And if there's anything we should expect from our Department of Public Health and Social Services, it would be to take every measure possible to guard all of us from disease and deadly epidemics. Ironic as it may seem, it is under this governor that the first local case of dengue fever has occurred in 75 years, for as long as we've been celebrating our liberation. Could it have been avoided? Did public health do its job right? The Department of Public Health 3 weeks ago first told us that a traveler to Guam was suspected of having dengue fever. On August 20, we spoke with Rosanna Rabago from Public Health's Division of Environmental Health to understand more about dengue. The Division of Environmental Health is in charge of the island's mosquito vector control program. We even used more than $1 million in federal funds to build a mosquito laboratory to, among other things, monitor dengue and prevent its onset here on Guam. The dengue virus, which causes the fever, is carried by a certain type of mosquito, according to Ms. Rabago. If a dengue-carrying mosquito bites a human, the virus can be transmitted, making the human sick. 3 weeks ago, while that traveler was suspected of having dengue, there was good news and there was bad news. The bad news was that public health had detected the presence of the very mosquito capable of carrying the dengue virus. The good news at the time was that none of the mosquitoes they tested on a weekly basis actually had the virus in them. So we asked Ms. Rabago at the time whether it's possible for one of these mosquitoes to bite a dengue-infected person, like the suspected patient, and acquire the virus and spread it to other humans. The short answer, yes. Alarmed, we asked her whether the person suspected of having dengue was quarantined from an environment where one of these mosquitoes could bite him or her. She told us that wasn't her division. We needed to get that answer from her colleague within a separate office at Public Health, the Office of Epidemiology and Research. Ms. Rabago referred our inquiry to Dr. Ann Pobutsky, who is the territorial epidemiologist at Public Health. Dr. Pobutsky answered us, stating there was no need to quarantine a person whose dengue suspicions had not yet been confirmed. But within a couple of days, the confirmation came. The patient tested positive for dengue. During the entire time this person was on Guam and was suspected of having the virus, no quarantine was done to prevent a dengue-capable mosquito of acquiring the virus from this patient. Whether 1 or 100 mosquitoes bit this patient while the dengue virus was capable of being transmitted from the patient to a mosquito is unknown, but at least one did. Last week, public health confirmed that a local patient tested positive for the virus. The patient had no recent travel history. That means a mosquito carrying the dengue virus bit this patient and transmitted the disease. We wrote back to Dr. Pobutsky, reminding her of the concern we expressed for the quarantine of the first suspected patient. Since at the time she felt quarantine was not necessary, we asked, now that we know there is at least one dengue-carrying mosquito on island which caused the virus to infect at least one person, do you now believe that those who were earlier suspected of having dengue should have been quarantined? How would the DPHSS explain this lapse in judgment to the public who counted on your policies and actions to prevent local dengue infection? Dr. Pobutsky wrote, telling us that dengue is not spread from person to person, but we never asked her about that. We knew that answer from speaking with Ms. Rabago, her colleague in a different office of public health. The same colleague who told us that the dengue-capable mosquito could very well bite the then suspected dengue patient and then carry the disease to another person. This story of the return of a dengue epidemic to this island after 75 years is a classic fable of the left hand not knowing what the right hand is up to. Ms. Rabago and her Division of Environmental Health, who knew of the dangers of exposing the suspected patient to the mosquitoes, had no power over quarantine of the patient. Dr. Pobutsky, who did have this authority, apparently didn't understand the dangers of exposure to the public's health. Meanwhile, the person who could have seen the missing links in this matrix of prevention of an epidemic, the Director of Public Health, Linda DeNorsi, was copied in all of these emails and never said a word. Neither did her boss, Governor Lulian Guerrero, a nurse who understands public health policy, or at least should, since she's a nurse. This matter now is beyond an issue of public health policy. It has entered the realm of civil defense, though it has taken nearly a week for the Office of Civil Defense to be mobilized by the Homeland Security Advisor and the governor. The non-urgent response for the greatest public health crisis of our time has been slow. That likely has to do with the lack of protocols to address a dengue outbreak in the island's Guam Emergency Recovery Plan. None exists. Civil defense spent a lot of money and time going over what to do about a SARS outbreak and a Zika virus problem, but never dengue. Today's response received by the media at 6:30 p.m. tells us first that the governor finally has activated the Joint Information Center to handle the communications of the response to this crisis, and that the government is trying to get it together. And so here's what the Civil Defense tells us. This is the news release from Civil Defense. We can go back to the wide camera. So, no, hold on, I have to find it. That was almost perfect professional. Sorry, Chella. I mixed. I screwed that one up. This was issued at 6:39. Well, it arrived in our inboxes at 6:39 p.m. Issued at 6:30 p.m. from the Joint Information Center. It's JIC release number 1 on this dengue thing, and this is almost a week after the confirmation that there's a local case of dengue. On September 11, 2019, the Guam Public Health Laboratory of Public Health confirmed the first locally acquired case of dengue fever. The virus, type 3, is the same affecting Yap, Palau, Marshall Islands, and the Philippines. The individual had no recent history of travel outside of Guam. To prevent further spread of dengue virus, Public Health, through the Division of Environmental Health, has requested assistance from a local contractor to conduct insecticide application. Oh, this is why at Agata Johnson Middle School and Orat Chalampago Elementary School.
So it's in that area.
I would not send my kids to school, man. Holy cow. Residents in the 200-meter radius of the confirmed case will also be asked to have their homes sprayed both inside and outside with insecticides to control adult and larval mosquitoes.
What a bunch of crock of shit, Troy.
There,
This could have all been prevented.
if they had just quarantined that suspected patient, if they didn't act like they were better than everyone else, and that a couple of.
Maybe the doctor doesn't have mosquitoes in her high-rise condominium.
But it almost sounds like the doctor just wasn't aware
No.
of the perspective that the vector control unit had. This is really the director. The director had the perspective of what was going on and could have said, doctor, you need to quarantine that patient because our mosquito people are telling us that this mosquito can bite that patient and then transmit the disease to someone else.
No communication.
The
There's
left hand don't know what the right hand is doing. And in the trite responses that we got from Dr. Pobutsky, it was like she just didn't get it. And I'm like, woman, you're a doctor. Like, I'm just a dumb person without a degree. You're a freaking doctor. What don't you, and your misunderstanding of this situation now has caused the first local dengue infection in 75 years. Happy liberation, Guam. L75. Maybe Kathy Flores will prop up some fireworks for our first dengue fever case on this island. And a potluck, and a potluck from island cuisine. So, man, so I exercise and like as soon as I get up, I do like this 1 minute calisthenic thing, right? Every time I go outside, I'm like, man, I'm gonna get dengue because they said that the mosquitoes are most prevalent at dusk and at dawn.
Wait, go back. I want you to go back to that press release from DOE.
The one about the
Why?
Oh,
Governor
yeah.
Johnson, and I want you to
fucking
go back to
Dawkins,
that.
man. Oh, it's right here. Sorry.
Read it out loud again, Troy.
Yeah. Hold on.
Look
Let's
at this
see. Let's see.
communication. What do we tell the public? This is what you're gonna tell the public.
Dude,
And then
DOE straight up lied to the public. Okay, classes will be canceled at Agada and OCP tomorrow, Monday, September 16. Classes are expected to resume as regularly scheduled at all other DOE schools. The school closures will provide an opportunity for school administrators to disseminate information about the recent insecticide spraying protocols and other pertinent information to faculty, staff, and students. We want to provide ample time for our school administrators to complete the work to be done at our campuses. Oh, you know what? It is. It's about the insecticide. Yeah. They said insecticide. They just weren't all that clear about it.
It's almost like it sounds like a training.
Yes.
Yeah, they're not.
Or like they're gonna collect all the composition notebooks and start grading. Or they're gonna prepare for parent-teacher conference. They're preparing for mosquito
this is
attack.
Political.
Yeah.
This is a political answer.
Yeah, it
Instead
is.
of saying, guys, the dengue outbreak is in the or not. Huh? So everybody, you get what I'm saying? Am I just being?
Let me tell you this much. I ain't fucking going to Ordot or Chalapago. Like if anyone needs anything in the central area of this island, don't fucking call me because I'm not gonna go do it for you. I would stay my ass up north and away from those mosquitoes. No, see, this is a big dengue is dangerous. Okay, this is what. So civil defense does provide more information about this. Okay, dengue fever is transmitted to humans by the bite of an infected mosquito. Oh, yeah, we know that now, and cannot spread directly from person to person. The best preventive measure for residents living in areas infested with mosquitoes is to eliminate areas where mosquitoes lay eggs, which are primarily artificial containers that hold water.
No,
It's
not all
also
the
like-
time.
it's also like
I
lakes,
live I
right?
live next to the jungle. I cannot go out to the jungle and take my blower and blow it so there's no water lane. Okay?
Because it's in the leaves, that's enough
Right.
water for the mosquitoes to
Yes.
fester.
Thank you, Dr. Pobupski.
Public health is working.
Fired. Hey,
No, really, she should be fired.
she should be fired.
75 years of no dengue, and all of a sudden, because of a lapse in judgment, the director of public health should be fired. The
Guam?
epidemiologist should be fired.
Guys, I really think that we should be really upset about this. This is crazy.
This is the worst thing a governor has done. This is the worst thing a governor has done in my memory of working in political office.
So if it was Governor Calvo,
Governor Calvo led the
The
Zika
moment-
virus response. It was like that. SARS, Governor Camacho was like that. This one, and she's a freaking nurse. You would think that she would have got her fat ass up to do something.
You know, Troy, I was just going with the information that I had, Troy.
Is that before or after she runs away from the
During.
cameras?
You know, Troy.
But Cello, this is a big deal.
It is. I'm as angry as you are. Can't you tell?
So, for people with compromised immune systems, it's already a big deal. For old people, for babies, kids, anyone who's going through cancer, HIV, diabetes, all these things, right? And there's a lot of people on this island who have compromised immune systems.
Diabetes, all of them.
But even if you're healthy, you're susceptible to die from dengue fever. That's how powerful this thing is.
So now that this happened, is Guam prepared for an outbreak? Do we have medication? Do we have what we need?
We should ask those questions tomorrow and see if Lillian Posadas answers these questions and the other questions that we sent her that she still hasn't answered yet. We have a very non-transparent government. I hope we all can acknowledge that and recognize just how non-transparent this government is
and
about
if I
very
get
important
dengue,
information.
You best believe I'm going to sue.
No kidding. No kidding. This complete lapse in judgment from public health. And we rely on this agency to have prevented exactly what they didn't prevent because they made a mistake.
No, but this day and age, it shouldn't be happening. We aren't those areas. I'm not saying that those areas are bad, or I don't know how to say it without sounding.
Dengue virus is a third world
Okay.
country
We
kind of
aren't
thing.
third world because of our technology and the people that get paid over $100,000 a year.
We have $1 million mosquito lab. We have a mosquito. We don't even have a weed lab. We have $1 million mosquito lab. So much for the fucking mosquito lab. Dengue is a disease caused by any one of 4 closely related dengue viruses. The viruses are transmitted to humans by the bite of an infected mosquito. It's called the Aedes aegypti. Anyway, what can I do to prevent the spread of dengue fever? Take precautions in preventing mosquito bites. I think you can get off, or you can even use natural remedies. I don't remember what they are.
You can burn the husk of the coconuts, any smoke. Even if you have cardboard, if you burn that, they kill mosquitoes.
Okay.
So if you're worried around your house, or worried about the areas around your house, just do that. And so typical Chamorro like this. If you catch dengue, they're gonna say this. Girl, you didn't get rid of the water that was sitting around your house. It's your fault. Doubt.
No, the typical Chamorro response is going to be, you got dengue, girl? Is it because you slept with a mosquito? Properly cover or dispose of all containers that collect.
No, if you start dating a guy, we didn't do it because his own mosquito was very small. I thought I was gonna get dengue. How come you don't want to do it to me? Because it looks like a mosquito, and I was scared I was gonna get dengue. Just kidding. Sorry, guys.
Bloodsuckers. Properly cover or dispose of all containers that collect rainwater or water, such as flower pots, garbage cans, recycling containers, wheelbarrows, aluminum cans, boat tarps, old tires, and buckets. Oh, boat tarps. Holy shit, everyone's going to have to take it down their outside kitchens. Flush bird baths and wading pools weekly. Flush ornamental bromeliads with water or treat with BTI, a biological larvicide available at most home stores. Clean roof gutters, which can become clogged and hold water. Look at all this stuff that we have to do because people at public health weren't doing their damn jobs. Change the water in outdoor pet dishes regularly. Keep pools and spas chlorinated and filtered. Stock ornamental ponds with mosquito-eating fish. Can you tell us what those are? Cover rain barrels with screening. Check for standing water under houses, near plumbing drains, under air conditioner drip areas, around septic tanks and water pumps. This is a full-time job. Take steps to eliminate standing water, improve drainage, and prevent future puddling. What are this? Good luck with that, Guam, with all the rain that we just had today.
Thanks a lot, public health.
What are the symptoms? Okay, principal symptoms include high fever, severe headache, severe pain behind the eyes, joint pain, muscle and bone pain, rash, and mild bleeding, usually around nose or gums. Dengue hemorrhagic fever, the severe form of the disease, is characterized by a fever that lasts from, 2 to 7 days, which can be followed by persistent vomiting, severe abdominal pain, and difficulty breathing. Patients with dengue hemorrhagic fever tend to bruise easily or other skin hemorrhages and possibly even internal bleeding. There is no vaccine for preventing dengue fever. What do you do if you feel sick? Talk to your doctor or nurse if you feel seriously ill. And for those of you who don't have access to a doctor or a nurse, I guess what public health is trying to tell you is, too fucking bad. The hospital is going to be inundated as soon as people get fevers.
It's already inundated. People are they're pushing them to GRMC already.
Talk to your doctor or nurse if you feel seriously ill, especially if you have a fever with other symptoms such as headache and joint pain, or have traveled to a country with locally occurring. Oh, you don't even have to travel to a dengue country anymore.
Yeah, we're dengue.
You just have to travel to Ordot Chalampago.
And you don't need a passport for that.
Oh shit! Let's move back to Jigo. I'm feeling pretty safe with the bugs in Jigo now. Consult with your doctor about the use of acetaminophen to treat fever and pain. Get lots of rest and drink plenty of liquids. You guys are telling us nothing. Avoid spreading the disease by preventing more mosquito bites. You need to tell public health about these instructions, man. What should I know?
Never mind, we're not traveling. You don't have to read that. That is retarded. That is fucking, do not waste 30 more seconds of my motherfucking hearing time.
So
Did they cut and
stupid.
paste this from something?
I don't know, but there's some grammatical and spelling errors too.
Of course. Of course. Thank you, Joint Information Center.
You might want to proofread your work before you send it out next time. I don't know what to say about anything. The governor has really failed us. Like directly, the governor. This is an issue. This was one of those things where the leader. It was a common sense thing. The mosquito.
Common sense. They don't have common sense. They have common sense.
It wasn't anything that was like rocket science or molecular science. It was common sense science, like mosquito, person, dengue.
Not to be confused with dengue hemorrhoidic fever.
And now we have an outbreak of dengue virus for the first time in 75 years. Biba liberation. When we come back, we're going to trash talk more.
So the BPT of 5%, do you think that can already be brought back to?
I have made my
4%?
position about that, and I have said that I don't want it rolled back. I'd like to see what fiscal year 2020 and fiscal year 2021 gives, because as a result of what has happened, we were able to actually also close the gap as a result of President Trump's Jobs Act legislation that took away about $68 million from our general fund. So those are the kinds of things that I am really looking at, Heidi, before, and I, like I have said, I have spoken to many business leaders also, and they are okay with the 5%.
Will that stay at least until fiscal year 2021, so 2022, there might be a
I would like
consideration.
for it to stay, and I'd like for it to stay forever.
I find no issue with it because, I just got back from the state auditors conference and my jaw dropped because the average salary right now that all state auditors are paying is $50,000. I asked this question, I said, what? Straight out of college, no experience, $50,000. Most of their management team are upwards of $100,000. And
But once that $50,000 salary is
I
straight
have no
out,
qualms
wait,
with
let's-
paying that. I think it's worth it.
the additional bonus on top of the increase that you're now getting because you managed to get through the legislature are concurrence that we're going to adopt the Kerry study.
And for the office with the 10 employees that you have or whatever number you have, you need 60,000 for the certification or pay, or is that's in the event somebody
No,
else gets
that's
a,
already funded. That's already funded. That's already in our, that's, if you turn to the schedule, we're talking 60,264 is the certification pay for 1, 2, 3, 6 individuals.
Okay. I have nothing further. We stand in recess until.
Mr. Speaker, if I just may say, you and I both are very passionate. And I'll miss this exchange. Thank you.
I will need an additional $70,000 just to pay for the certification pay for those on my staff that are qualified. It wasn't in my budget request because I didn't ask for it. But if this legislature is going to leave it in the budget, then I will have to comply and provide them with their certification adjustment, and that would cost the office an additional $70,000. So I just point that out. But I can't tell you how wonderful the 5 Auditor 3s that stepped up to take over the management team of the office has been, and how smoothly it has run since then. They've taken over, and I feel so bad that they can't get one. We can't reclassify 3 of them, 4 of them. I mean, because everything, all promotions and increments were suspended during the fiscal year. So I can't do any reclassifications. And give them increments as minuscule as it is by comparison. But it is the Office of Public Accountability, and we have to live within the law, and we will live within the law. And if it is provided to us, we'll provide it to them. If it's not, then we'll have to tell them that it's not going to be provided.
Think that a jury of 12 is not going to look at your daughter and say that she doesn't actually look like Mrs. Ed? Her incisors and excisors are protruding from her snout. Welcome to the origins of this show, Trash Talk. Our favorite part. The news is okay. That's by popular demand and all. But this is by even more popular demand. And when I say popular, I mean Johnny and I love it.
Yes.
Trash Talk. Today it's trashy versus classy. There has been this, I don't know is it bizarre? It's strange. It's like what's that movie in the 80s about
Single white female? Huh?
Single white female.
Fuck you. But this is the married old man.
So, Congressman Mike Nicholas has been the
Taking
victim
punches, yes.
of the political world, the political class. They've been, for all of their different reasons, whether it's one politician wants to challenge him for Congress, or another politician is jealous because she didn't have as much achievement or success in her role as Congresswoman, so she doesn't want Mike Nicholas to be whatever. Now there comes Congressman Robert Underwood, who is rumored to be eyeing the job of congressman again, wants to run against Congressman Nicholas in the next election. We haven't confirmed that or anything, and it's not like he's made an announcement. But, there's the political grapevine, and a lot of times where there's smoke, there's fire. We've been coming across a very strange thread of trolling by former Congressman Robert Underwood against Congressman Mike Nicholas. Well, you've been paying attention more to it than I have, Chella. Why don't you take this one?
Well, I just want everybody to know, Robert Underwood has been in politics longer than I've been alive, longer than you've been alive, right?
Yeah.
He's also ran the UOG when all of this sexual assault was going on and the cover-up, as well as some sources have contacted Candid News that he was also involved in some scandal. Himself over there at the.
We'll definitely look into that.
Yeah, and I'm going to share with you because he can't go onto my computer, but I have something that might be funny, and let me know if I could show this first before we show it. Okay, could we show that? No? Okay.
I'll tell you why later.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways, so this back and forth, congressman or what do you call him? Robert Underwood, right?
Yeah.
Former congressman.
Former UOG president.
Loves to go onto the radio stations and bash Michael Nicholas. Mind you, when Michael Nicholas was running for congressman, and then when he finally won by a landslide, right? He reached out to former Congressman Robert Underwood.
Very humbly asking for help.
Yes.
Yeah. Advice, right?
Yes. And of course, because Robert Underwood is too good. So this started then.
I think Congressman Underwood put out Congressman Nicholas's cell phone number or something, or I don't know if it was reversed. And there was a spat that happened, and it was all because Congressman Underwood didn't want to help Congressman Nicholas. You know, there was a whole like
Like if
mentoring
someone,
thing.
right?
You know, like
If somebody came to me and asked me, I would be humbled by it.
yeah.
I would like, oh my God. You know, like I would feel like I would be like kind of.
I would be like, why are you asking me?
Yeah. Well, no, not like that. Like, oh my God, you won. You know, everybody chose you, or more than half the island chose you, and you're coming to me. Fuck yeah, I want to help you. Fuck yeah, I want to help Guam. You know, not. I don't. Maybe it's old age. Why he reacted the way he did, but I'm not sure. I can't answer for him, but.
Hashtag Petty Patricia.
So,
Renee Pat says she's greedy. That's why.
So for every 10 people that support Congressman Michael Nicholas, there's one person that talks shit about him.
A trollster.
A troll.
Not even like a real account either, right?
Yeah, not even.
But
so
Congressman Underwood took this to a whole new level.
then he talks about how bad. Oh, this social media. Sorry, I don't know about it. Oh, honey, you know about it. You're all over it.
I saw some posts. I saw some. This is Mariana's dirty laundry to the max, as a matter of fact.
So former Congressman Robert Underwood had a write-up about decolonization.
Yes.
And in the same realm or the same paragraphs, he talks shit about Mike Nicholas.
Which is too bad because I really do enjoy reading Dr. Underwood's stuff. He has very intriguing write-ups in the Daily Post, is it, right? Where he writes
And
a
Troy
column.
thinks he's so funny, you know?
I think he's really funny. But then this latest thing is, I don't know how it's bizarre or creepy. There's something very wrong with this picture, Cello, with this fight that he has against Congressman Mike Nicholas, and he won't stop. It's like it's like a 14-year-old on Facebook having a fight with another 14-year-old or something. Except Congressman Nicholas is trying to be the adult, which is funny because he's the young one, and Congressman Underwood was the older one.
I am looking for that. I think it was today. But let me find it. Go ahead, keep talking, Troy.
Is it? It's on the Facebook though, right?
No, the one, the Robert Underwood, where he talks about decolonization and.
Oh, you're looking for the article.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna look for. Oh, you know what? My brother tagged me in it. Hold on. Let me just find it in the notifications.
Yeah, and then when they're asking him questions, he wants to privately talk to them. He doesn't want to talk to them on the Facebook comments. In
Oh,
the public.
here. I think this is Mitch Cruz. Oh, here we go. Okay. So, Congressman Nicholas, you can cast to my screen, Chalu. He. This is on September 12th. This was Thursday. And in a reply to local leader criticism of his tax refunds bill, he says in earlier programming, Governor Lulian Guerrero and Dr. Robert Underwood criticized Congressman Nicholas's bill to federalize and expedite tax refund payments to the people of Guam, calling the measure backward and questioning its merits because Congressman Nicholas cannot vote on the measure. Congressman Nicholas replies, quote, I am the people's elected representative in Congress, and I am the one introducing the measure. If not being able to vote on a bill somehow invalidates its merits, then by that logic, we shouldn't be introducing anything in Congress, and that is absolutely insensible. Anyone who tries to make that an issue is just grasping at straws to maintain a broken status quo. The only thing backward is when the entire country gets their tax refunds paid in 6 weeks while our people wait 6 months or more. It is telling that the same leaders with the same fervor to pursue a risky and redundant local war claims plan are glaringly opposed when it comes to paying tax refunds. Obviously, the local government is not committed to fixing this, and so I will work to fix it. 130 comments. Brad Hewitt says, great job, give it to them straight. Good response, Congressman, says Barry Daly. Rolly Zabala says, it's business as usual in the administration. Nothing can be fixed when you have no leadership at all. What is needed on GovGuam is a strong leader with visions for our future. Nothing we can see that can be accomplished, programs and projects for the people. Let's see.
Right there, Robert Underwood.
So Robert Underwood chimes in 3 days ago. As always, you are invited to come home live and discuss it, but you will not engage in an open forum. Every point made by others is reacted to as criticism. Come home and explain it in a forum which doesn't rely on snippets of Facebook commentary. Open forum means an open mic, and he spells it M-I-K-E. Facebook snippets means a closed mic, M-I-K-E. 14 replies from the congressman.
And he's not the one that came up with that. I did.
Which one?
Mic drop.
Mic drop.
Yes.
St. English replies, Underwood, it's too bad you are unable to articulate effectively on social media. Barry Mead says, I expect more from the people I respect and voted for than this conversation for this reason alone. He's mad at Mike. The Mike responds to Barry, I respect how you feel, Barry. What I find unacceptable is someone trying to repeatedly delegitimize a forum that many of our people rely on for perspective.
Keep going.
Oh, we rely on it for business. Myron Unkenko says, I don't see a social media platform as a bad way of communicating. The majority of the youth are into it. Newspapers went digital. Well, the PDN went down, that's for sure. Richard Tenora says, times have changed and social media is the way we learn of things. Jose Martinez, Mr. Underwood, it is very obvious that you have a bone to pick with Michael St. Nicholas, and it's personal. Why continue to perpetuate it in public in such a manner? It serves the public no purpose. Well, it sure serves Kandit News Group a purpose. Rosalind and Michael Cruz, our auntie from another panty, says, I suspect a Democrat hidden agenda.
Correct.
Tiara Terlahi says, big spender, bad example, talk a huge game with a conservative budget, then spend thousands of dollars on luxury meals and vacations and assistance. Actually, we looked into this story by Chris Barnett, who obviously didn't do his homework.
Right.
And
Right.
What Chris Barnett did in that story, this is that KUAM story about St. Nicholas spending more than his predecessor, Madeline Berdalio. See, when you compare financials, Chris, this is something that you might want to learn. You have to compare the same period. So you cannot take July to September from Congressman St. Nicholas and compare that against Madeline Berdalio's October through December. These are two very different fiscal quarters where two very different things happen between a 2-year period. It's apples to oranges. So if you want to do an actual, and this is how you skew data, because you just pick and choose, you cherry pick the periods that you want to use.
Fake news.
So that, yeah, basically it's fake news.
Yes.
So when we ran the actual numbers, doing a apples to apples comparison between one quarter period, or 1 year period during Madeline Berdalio's time and Michael St. Nicholas's all the time that he's had in office as congressman already, it shows that Mike St. Nicholas's personnel budget is actually, what would be the percentage? What's 50 out of 250? That's 1/5? 20%. 20% cheaper. Mike St. Nicholas is spending 20% less on personnel than Madeline Berdalio did. So that already, on its face, makes the Chris Barnett story false.
Yeah, Chris. To your the most popular news station ever.
Let's
Yeah.
not be too hard on him. He's not the brightest tool in
No,
the
he's
shed.
full of shit.
But so Tiara Renee Terlai, I just want to let you know that citing the KOM story is not going to be a good thing to cite, and that actually the big spender was Madeline Berdalio, and Mike St. Nicholas is actually the more conservative spender between the two. I'm sorry, the congressman actually already answered. He said, our expenses reflect a training regimen as a first-time office with higher than average travel costs. That's right. That was the other thing that wasn't apples to apples.
Right.
Was that Chris Barnett wasn't taking into consideration Madeline Berdalio's first year in office.
Yeah.
Which would reflect the larger travel costs.
I will put those numbers up tomorrow just to put it out there.
Um,
There's more there that's pretty good.
Jeff Ronan says, Robert Underwood, as a person over 65 and managing many younger individuals, I find two types of older leaders and managers, those that mentor and those that criticize the new leaders and managers. It's sad that as an ex-president of a university, you've chosen the latter. Debbie Kanatis says, Derek Hendricks, nope, I don't believe so. Guam foots her bill. Oh, this is regarding the governor's, like, this is regarding Madeline Bordallo. Ron Jackson, hey girl, says, thank you, Congressman, for engaging the people of Guam more than any other has done. You may not always be on Guam for an open forum, but I have never seen Guam more engaged or any other Guam congressman who keeps the people of Guam on top of things and up to date. We have never been more informed with what is going on thousands of miles away in D.C. Thank you to you and your staff. I'm glad he mentions the staff as well. A lot of times they get forgotten. There, Robert Underwood again. Okay, it gets good again. All interesting comments, says Robert Underwood, but the reality is that Delegate Mike St. Nicholas does not want to engage in an open mic situation. Is it because it is easier to issue statements without looking into the eyes of constituents? Is it because it is easier to hide behind a Facebook persona? I don't know. But Delegate St. Nicholas does not want to engage his constituents or anyone except in a forum in which he can manage. This is not the new way of communication. This is the old way of hiding. Come on home, Delegate St. Nicholas. Blogging is easy. Engagement is hard. Brad Hewitt says, Robert Underwood, so your idea is a gaggle of extreme leftists to scream, shout, and further disregard any predetermined limit of appropriate behavior. Isn't it much better for citizens to meet or discuss via social media with the congressman privately or his office staff? Meeting in this manner proves more effective, as other Guam delegates have done in the past. Robert Underwood says, your straw man argument doesn't deserve a response. What's a straw man argument?
I have no idea, but apparently right there, he's better than the person.
Is it because Brad Hewitt's white? Is that what that is?
I don't know.
But I don't understand what. Okay. Shannon McManus says Robert Underwood is the people's true Godzu, and I voted for St. Nicholas, assuming he'd be something of a representative on behalf of Guam to the U.S. Clearly, he is clearly more interested in being a representative of the United States to Guam. Lustima. St. Nicholas says, Robert Underwood, I love coming home and look forward to it every time. I also have a lot of work to do out here to make up for the last 26 years. And I'm just getting started. Your game is to try to force me home so I cannot work, then say I'm not getting anything done. Our progress trajectory in D.C., I love that word, trajectory, in D.C. scares you because it reveals that the lack of overall congressional awareness and action of and for territories after sitting in this office for a decade or more is grossly unacceptable. It's why you left Madeline alone. She played the same game of making it seem like territories just had no chance and we were lucky to ever get a nod. That's not the case. As for looking people in the eye, I have had 2 open and public town halls so far this year. That's right. He did have town halls. Looking forward to helping bring a very important congressional delegation to Guam from a committee that hasn't come in many, many years. I have sat through senatorial hearings for 7 hours with people shouting at me. I looked my colleagues in the legislature in the eye as I introduced bill after bill to roll back pay raises. To my recollection, the only open mics you generally attend are the ones where you're the center of attention in front of a favorable crowd. Oh, shit. That's easy. I would encourage you to look local leaders in the eye as much as you implore me to, and ask them the hard questions about why our current limited self-governance is so bad while you work to advocate for more. That would be leadership. Oh, my goodness. Oh, this is my favorite one. My favorite comments from Debbie Knatz.
Because Robert Underwood responds. Okay?
She says to Robert Underwood, bored are we? And I can hear her say it too. I can hear Debbie saying that. Brady says, I'm going to park this here. It's very relevant, regardless if you wish to acknowledge or respond. The current thread very clearly shows there are various issues which some minority-focused groups would bring to an open mic session. I've witnessed a gross lack of decorum on numerous occasions exhibited by many of the special interest groups. I don't see anyone in their right mind walking into a lion's den of misbehaved radicals. Gina Call. Robert Underwood, but now you are so active on Facebook. Geez, must be an effective way to communicate after all.
There you go.
Then my brother gets involved.
I want to read George's. Read your brother.
Robert Underwood. The current Congressman Mike Nicholas is doing the work that you couldn't do. Please sit back and watch how real work in progress for our island is done in Congress. Some people are so self-centered they don't realize they were the problem and are still the problem of our island. You are old news, Mr. Underwood.
And George Delgado says, Robert, your lack of testicular fortitude is gleaming bright like our sun. Like our sun, you are hiding the light of the stars with the radiation behind you. Sit back and let the other stars' light shine and stop with the antics and paint or fish and be retired and not all washed up and out of tune.
Mitch Cruz replies to George saying, am I the only one who feels like Robert Underwood is a bit obsessed with our young congressman? Not even fangirl status, more like single white female full-blown stalker status. Wait, cast off my screen. Can you continue reading? Because I have to pull up a song. You're going to love it. You're going to love it.
It says here, Robert Underwood, the real question for you is, what other scandals are you covering up at UOG? Mitch Cruz responds, I think the real answer to that, Mr. Underwood, did more than just cover up those sexual assaults. Be careful, Robert Underwood. Answer the question here in open forum, Robert Underwood. Don't DM me to call you. You openly attack people here. Answer the question here, or rather, sit with Candid News.
This is about Eminem, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
This is going nowhere fast.
He should post that YouTube link on the thread. Mike Nicholas should put it on the thread. The Why You So Obsessed With Me by Mariah Carey.
I'll put it on the thread. I don't mind at all.
It's so weird. It's so weird. That's putting it mildly.
Mm-hmm.
Was there more?
No, I'm gonna do the thread.
Okay, and lastly, let's get to your comments because I saw a lot of funny comments on our video thing. Hang on, let me get to Candid News Group. Thank you guys very much for staying with us tonight. This is our new format. We've been meaning to do this for a long time. We finally got around to it. Which is 127 comments. Thank you guys. Thank you very much for your comments. Julie Padua says, I used to be a fan of Chris Malfunction, but when he started talking shit about our congressman, I no longer care for him anymore, constantly repeating trash that the congressman said, which was more like Chris Malfunction's Cuentos T.O. Hee Baba Drugs. Baba and now drugs. Oh, wait. How do I get to the... Oh, there. 128 comments. How come I can't?
I guess you gotta open it. Go down more.
How do I open it?
I don't know.
I was able to do that. Oh, maybe I do it from up here. Oh, there we go. Okay. Buenas, Jonathan Nomelo. Thank you for sharing, Janessa. Richard Leon says, the Guam public speaks through social media and little Lou LG and Underwood don't listen. Decolonization collects dust thanks to you. Gina says, Underwood is obsessed, all caps, obsessed with Congressman Michael F. Houston Nicholas. It's sickening and disturbing. Richard Leon says Underwood led the charge in GovGuam reductions and fighting nepotism when running for governor. Now he rants a different song. Our auntie from another auntie says, I like former Congressman Underwood, but I love Congressman Mike St. Nicholas. Remember when we were talking about the rumor that Robert Underwood was going to run against Mike St. Nicholas? A bunch of people saying he's definitely going to lose. Mr. Labos, this is on to the dengue story. He says GMH is third world. There is no protocol to automatically culture for deadly viruses or dengue at GMH. People with deadly viruses that are contagious can easily expose the community. That's a sad fact. Yes, and you know what? We tried to explain that to the territorial epidemiologists. Yes, Ness, we love you. Hi, Brandon Chandler. Richard Leon says, little Lou LGU attacking the war claims recipients. Thinking about it, lame excuses already exist. I don't know. I don't know where that local war claims effort is or where it's going, but I'll tell you this much, guys. It was a political job. That's all that was. And the only person actually doing anything in any real tangible way that's going to get war claims to people is Congressman Mike St. Nicholas. Cello, do you happen to know when COLA is supposed to be paid?
Nope, I don't.
Cello, do you know? Do you know if it's September or November? I cannot remember. And I wasn't trying to be poetic there. Mr. Lebowski says dengue screening is the same day in Philippines. Why so long here? Because there was no plan, Mr. Lebowski. In the Guam Emergency Response Plan, also known as the GERP, there's no plan for a dengue outbreak. Julie Ann Pacagui Padua says, put the governor on standby for her night nurse job. Jotina Rios Camacho says, a mosquito could be flying on the road and flying into your car. Hello. Oh my God. Mosquitoes are everywhere, though I live in Tamuning. Rosalind and Michael Cruz, who has adopted Richard Leon's Little Lou LG, but adapts it to her own. Little Lulu LG will have someone take the blame and an apology letter to follow after she approves the letter.
Yes, that is the administration this year.
That's their MO. And
Yep.
I really hate that. I don't like that they have their, leaders know that the buck stops with them and they take responsibility. They don't allow their people to take the fall, George says guppies eat mosquitoes. Aren't those the ones that die right away?
So already we're struggling with money financially. We can't even put food on our table, and we're gonna go buy fucking guppies because public health didn't do their goddamn job.
Maybe we should send an email to Dr. Pobutsky if she recommends, as the territorial epidemiologist, if she recommends that all of us go and buy guppies at Feathers and Fins.
Yeah, why don't we ask the governor how they paid out of their pocket to pat themselves on the back for the liberation if she can buy all of us guppies.
Gina says, Johnny, you are so kaduka, LOL. Richarlie says, fuck my life, I'm right smack in the jungle in the flood area. Sorry, Richarlie. Well, we're in the middle of Tumon, which is completely flooded. Just so y'all know. Like, I can't go to the beach because of the rip currents. I can't go outside because of the mosquitoes.
Oh, Gregory Isaac is the singer of Night Nurse, the reggae song.
How does that go? How?
Here.
Red
No,
wine.
Troy does not like reggae music. This used to be Josh's song.
Night Nurse?
Yeah, he had a night nurse.
I hope it wasn't Lulian Guerrero.
No, it was his sister-in-law.
There's onions in the fridge if you want to throw it at her.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Mullard. Richard Leon says mosquito coils all over the house 24/7. That's a damn good idea, Richard. Where do you get mosquito coils besides Payless?
Hold on, I'm playing this.
At the Korean store? Okay. Oh, I know this song.
Yeah.
I know this song. Night nurse.
Yes.
I had no idea that's what they were saying. Hafaday Janessa Corpus. Oh, for some reason I cannot see more of the. I can't see more of the.
Go
the
new comments. There's 14 new comments.
Oh,
Go
okay.
down.
Hi, Marlene Magnolia.
Mr. Lebowski, we're actually waiting for a response from him too regarding the AOC, the AOC's law.
The federal.
Yes.
The federal medical malpractice
Yes.
thing. Yes, we are. So as soon as we get a response from the congressman, we'll be sure to. Yeah.
But he might respond to you before he responds to us.
Jackie Castro got her mosquito coils at Kmart. Oh, thank you, Jackie. You need to go to Kmart. Eric Rosario, Che Lu says, hashtag put it in your Pobotski. Hi, Lisa Lujan.
October cola for retirees, according to Jackie. Thanks,
October?
Jackie.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Jackie. Oh, and Glenn and Tio go say by October 15. Hi, Veline.
Who's the
Hi, Roman. Half
Happy
day,
day,
Carl. Hi, Boone.
Carl is Kuxka's brother. You know that, right?
The older brother, right?
Yeah.
Oh, not with a C?
Oh, no, that's a Carl with a C. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Mike Tyron? Hi, Carmen Leon Guerrero and 18 other people who joined. Sorry, it doesn't show all the names. Hi, Fran. Hi, ITTC Bussy, who says, keep it coming. People have rights to the truth. Absolutely. Hi, Clarissa. Okay. I don't have anything else. Do you have anything
No,
else?
that's it. Oh, car wash for Tossie.
Oh, yes. Tossie.
Let me open it.
Tina Tongo is a very talented volleyball player at George Washington High School. And she wants to go with her team to the Philippines for a tournament to represent Guam with the rest of the GW girls volleyball team. And so she's raising money by washing cars, and we're going to be there washing cars as well with her.
And it's for September 29, 2019 at Circle K in Sinahania.
From 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. If
Yes.
you want, it's a $5 donation, right?
Yes.
Of course, you can donate more than that. Like if you have a GMC or something.
You know, car washes are actually really well. When my son, we had 2 weeks notice when I got my son to get, they made him lose in the wrestling match, right? It's the high school wrestling. What is it called? All Island. His coaches told him to lose to his teammate.
Oh, this is sports
Yeah.
correction. It's
So-
very prevalent.
So my son didn't want to make a big stink out of it, but of course his spirit was gone. So I found a way to get him on a plane to Japan, and it's called Rumble on the Rock. We had 2 weeks notice when they were leaving. I got another school. I got FD to agree that Mike was gonna follow them, but he wasn't gonna be a part of FD. He was gonna represent Ukadu by himself. So when my son went, he didn't lose any matches, right?
Nice.
So he was top seed, and my son brought home gold, and all because of the school teachers here. So the system is really messed up here.
Yeah.
But mommy got him there, and it was all from a car wash, and that car washes are really is really a good idea.
Yeah.
So we were able to raise all his money that he needed. We didn't really need a sponsor, but car washes are a great idea to also pre-sell tickets. So if everybody can help Tossie get to the volleyball tournament, that'll be great.
It'll be, what day is that, a Saturday?
I believe
It's
so.
September 29. That's a couple weeks from now at the Circle K in
And
Sinahania.
this is what her mom says. I humbly ask for your support. My baby Tossie really wants to go on this trip. She did not want to let me know because of the circumstances lately. I do not want to take this from her because of my issues, so I will be hosting 2 car wash fundraisers for her trip. I am pre-selling tickets at this time. If you can help make this possible, please contact me. Thank you in advance.
Yeah.
So it's Vanessa Bermudez on Facebook. So if we can help Tossie get there, that'll be
I think
great.
It's Vanessa, but without the A at the end of, so it's Vanessa Marie, right? Vanessa Marie Bermudez.
Yes.
And she's pre-selling the tickets. What, is it 12 already? In 2 minutes, guys, we'll just leave you with this. In 2 minutes, it will be 100 days to Christmas. And it's not like we own Christmas or anything, but Kandit was the first to start counting it down. And it really wasn't.
It was because Troy was bored
I was
one
bored
day.
out my ass, and in the morning I was like, let me count how many days there are to Christmas, and then I was like, oh, let me make a flyer, because I wasn't doing anything for Kandit. I've been on staycation. I'm like, I'm bored.
He was doing things and made me go on air by myself, and I fucking hated
She did
it.
well. She did
I did
very
not.
well. Her and Big Tone. Where's
Thanks,
Big Tone?
I don't know. He just disappeared from us.
Oh, she
since
has
that night.
a lot to clean up tomorrow. You know, there's a lot to clean up. What, the water you didn't take away? Holy cow.
Thank you for sticking with us. It was a great show.
It's a great show.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
See you guys tomorrow night.
Good night.